I'm always fascinated by people that have a utopian vision about the best way that they can live and in the best circumstances that they can live. I got a story here. I'm in a town in California, really out in the middle of nowhere, miles off of 99, the big north-south highway of the Central Valley. But it is a story definitely worth telling and a place worth looking around. I doubt you've heard of Allensworth either, but I didn't really know about him too much until I was doing some research for my adventure here in California, and his story is quite remarkable. He was born in 1842 in Louisville, Kentucky. He ended up as slave at that time, and he escaped. And when he escaped and went north, he joined the United States Navy, and he became a chaplain, and he became the highest ranking officer, African-American officer in the United States in the military up until that time. Almost unheard of for a black to rise to such prominence. After the Civil War, I think he must have had an idea that equivalency would never really happen in America. It all sounds good in theory, American values, equality, and we're all going to get along, and it's going to be a happy world after the Civil War. And I think he was very taken with the ideas that things didn't go well after the war, and Jim Crow laws came in, and things arguably in a lot of ways weren't any better. Some blacks were much worse off than before they could live on the master's land, but they were theoretically free. In the early 1900s, being a person of great stature in the black community and known pretty well in America, he decided that he wanted to found a place here in California that would be founded by blacks, run by blacks, and in all ways just a town that would be a black town in America, a very rare thing. Some of his associates, academia, and other professors at the time were taken with the idea of having a place that they could call their own, that they could call their own shots. They didn't have to worry about prejudice. They didn't have to worry about Jim Crow laws. They could live as Americans. They bought some land here in a place called, it's now known as Allensworth, but quite a rural spread here. And they had some pretty good success with raising crops and things like that. But let's take a couple minutes and look around, and we'll see what actually happened. Quite a place with some amazing buildings, and these are this is the buildings, not rebuilt, not fabricated to appear as if this was the actual community. And at the height of it, this was its own voting district here. It had an elementary school, a middle school, and a high school, and 300 people lived here by 1920. Things went bad. Colonel Allensworth was killed in 1914 crossing a street in Los Angeles, but the community continued on here and even prospered to some extent. The Central Farming Company, who had sold the land originally, Colonel Allensworth knew that the water from artesian wells was not going to be enough to supply the future needs for the town. Well, the Central Pacific Farming Company said, no problem, we got you covered, you need it, we'll bring it to you. What actually happened was that they ended up diverting the water to other communities in the Central Valley here, and that dealt a devastating blow. Also, the rail stop that used to be here at Allensworth was moved 5 miles away, resulting in a loss of income of over $5,000 per month for the community here. So crops withered, nothing would grow. It's a very dry place here. The same problem is faced in Southern California today, where to get enough water to grow and sustain. And it's a problem that has been vexing California for a very, very long time. So by the 1930s, it was all said and done, and during the Depression, the buildings were just left to be abandoned, and some restoration was undertaken. But it's really amazing to see another place where one man had a vision, and for a while it became a reality. Equality, no jail. Colonel Allensworth didn't want to put anybody in jail. Say if you acted up or acted the fool, it's time to leave town, and you would get your walking papers, and that was it. Well, I'm certainly out in the middle of nowhere here, but I do want to thank you for being along today on another journey in history here in this incredible Central Valley that's so full of great stories. If you're not subscribed, please hit the bell. Please subscribe and hit the bell for all notifications. This is just a little bit of the way that I like to bring history to life in a place. Well, you can see I have the whole place to myself, but I do love history. Thumbs up are appreciated, as are shares, and thanks for being along, everyone.